Operation research is a quantitative approach to decision making based on the scientific method of problem solved. The assignment problem involves matching of every origin with one particular endpoint. The game theory is the study of mathematical models of strategist interaction among the rational decision makers. Hello dear students, welcome to this session of question paper solving of OR Operation Research. Now in this session I am going to discuss regarding the solution for one important question paper. I am Mr. Niranjan, faculty, Department of Computer Science, Vidhyaashram First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence. Now today I am going to discuss very important question paper for the final examination. So now let us come to the model. So you might have been seen the question paper. The blueprint for the question paper is for 80 marks. Now in question paper you are going to get two types of question, that is from part A and part B. In part A you will have 2 mark questions. So all 2 mark questions you have to answer 10 out of 12 questions. So 10 2 mark question has to be answered out of 12. So that is 10 into 2, that's equal to 20 marks. And whereas in part B you have, in part B, this is part A. In part A only 2 mark questions, whereas in part B you will have, you are going to answer for 4 full questions. Each question carries 2 sub questions. Say for example question number 13, which contains A1, A2, or which contains B1 and B2. So you are going to answer either A1, A2 or B1, B2. So the marks distribution may be 7 and 8 marks. 7 plus 8 totally 15 marks. So this type of 4 questions you are going to answer. So 4 questions you are going to answer in part B for 15 marks. So suppose if you are going to answer for A1, then A2 is also compulsory. Or if you answer B1, B2 is compulsory. You cannot choose A1 and B2 like that. So if you write A1, A2 is compulsory. If B1, B2 is compulsory. So that is how the question paper is setted. Now let us know what is the question paper pattern. The question paper is like this. This is 3rd semester B.C.A examination of 2019. So part A, so what is the instruction they are given? Answer part A and part B. The maximum marks is 80. Subject operation research. Right. Now the part A, in part A, answer any 10 questions. You have to answer 10 questions. Each question carries 2 marks. So there are 12 questions. In this 12 you are going to answer for 10 questions. Now the questions are very simple. Define operation research. What is modeling? Define basic feasible solution. Unbounded solution. What is linear programming? What are the different methods of solving linear programming problem? What are the advantages of duality? Now the second here, so question number 7, define transportation problem. Mention the different methods used in finding the initial basic feasible solution of a transportation problem. What is assignment problem? What is game theory? Define min-max and max-min principle and critical path. So these are the questions. So majority of the questions, maximum questions are from definition part and the simple concepts of problems like assignment problems, game theory, transportation problems. So usually you will expect maximum to maximum definition questions in these 2 marks. Now so you are going to answer 10 questions out of these 12 questions. Right. Now let us come to the second part, part B. In part B, see here, part B all 15 marks question. The questions are split into 2 parts, A1, A2 or B1, B2. So A1 contains 7, A2 contains 8 or B1 contains 8 and B2 contains 7. So totally 15 marks for each. This is 15 marks and this is also 15 marks. You have to answer either A1, A2 or B1, B2. So answer the following questions. Now A1, explain the application of management where the tools and techniques of the operation research is applied. Explain the principle of modeling. Explain, or you can answer explain the scope of operation research and explain the application of linear programming problem. So either you can answer A1, A2 or B1, B2. This is from unit number 1. Let us come to the next question. Question number 14. So again this is from unit number 2. That is, one question is given, that is the formation of linear programming problem. Another one is finding the solution using graphical method. So first the formation of a linear programming problem, another one is the solution for a linear program. This is very important. This is an easiest problem to get the 15 marks. Now for this the choice is explain the computational process of B.C.A method for solution of a maximization LPP and consider this LPP solve using simplex method. Okay. So for that the choice is B1 and B2. One is B.C.A method, step-by-step procedure. Another one is the solution of a LPP using simplex method. Now let us come to the question number 15. In 15, so this is from transportation type, unit number 3. So write the step of mathematical formation of transportation problem as an LPP. For this, the another question for 8 marks is solution for this problem using northwest corner method. Find the initial basic feasible solution of the transportation problem using northwest corner method. So one explanation, another one is the problem. This is also easiest one. You can attempt this question. Or for this, the choice question for this is solving an assignment problem and states traveling salesman's problem and formulate traveling salesman problem as an assignment problem. So step-by-step procedure to form the salesman's traveling problem. So now the next question is last question is 16th question, which is from unit 4, that is game theory. To explain the general rule of dominance property and minimax value and maximum value in a game. The problem, just very simple problem, you can answer this question, or you can answer this one, B1 and B2. What is B1? Explain the following types of games, saddle point. And B1, B2. What is B2? Write the difference between CPM and PERT, whereas mention the application of PERT and CPM. This is also an easiest problem. So you can either answer A1, A2 or B1, B2. This is how the questions are asked in the previous year examination. Now let me take the part A. Now in this session I am going to discuss the solution for part A. That is all 2 mark questions. Now let us come to the first question. What is the question number 1? Define operation research. So this is a 2 marks question. Now operation research is a quantitative approach to the decision making based on the scientific method of solving a problem. That is problem solving. So the important concept is operation research is nothing but quantitative approach to make a decision, to decision making based on the scientific method of problem solving. Getting the solution for a problem using scientific method is called the operation research. So this much if you write, you will get 2 marks. Now let us come to the second question. What is the question number 2? What is modeling? Modeling. So model is defined as the representation of a real life system. So the representation of a real life system, whether such a system refers to a problem or the process or operations or event. That is nothing but the representation of a real life system which refers to the problems of processing, operations and events. So this model will enable us to experiment. This model enables us to experiment more effectively than the system itself, which is either impossible or too costly. So that is here, a model is defined as the representation of a real life system, whether such system refers to a problem or process or operations or events. Okay, that is called a model. And what is this? Model will enable us the experiments more effectively than on the system itself, which is either impossible or too costly. Okay, that is this. If you write this much, you will get 2 marks for this question. Okay, now let us come to the next question. What is the next question? Define basic feasible solution, BFS, basic feasible solution and unbounded solution. So in basic feasible solution, how to define basic feasible solution? A feasible solution is a set of values for the decision variables that satisfies all the constraints in an optimization problem. Optimization means in maximization and minimization problem. A feasible solution is a set of values for the decision variable that satisfies all the constraints in the optimization problem. And the set of all feasible solutions defines the feasible region of the problem. So that is called basic feasible region. That means the set of all the points, set of all the feasible solutions defines the feasible region. Set of all the points, the feasible solution defines the feasible region of the problem. Now, what is unbounded solution? If the value of the objective function can be increased or decreased indefinitely, if the value of the objective function is increased indefinitely or decreased indefinitely, then the solution is called an unbounded solution. The solution is called an unbounded. If the value of the objective function can be increased or decreased indefinitely, then the solution is called an unbounded solution. So these are the simple definitions of basic feasible solution and the unbounded solution. Now the next question is, what is linear programming? LPP. What is linear programming? So linear programming, LP, or linear optimization may be defined as the problem of maximizing or minimizing a linear function. That is, linear programming is nothing but optimization may be defined as the problem of maximization or minimizing a linear function that is subjected to the linear constraints. The constraints may be equalities or inequalities. The optimization problem involves the calculation of the profit and the loss. So, linear programming or linear optimization may be defined as the problem of maximizing or minimizing a linear function that is subjected to the linear constraints. That constraint may be equalities or inequalities. The optimization problems involves the calculation of the profit and the loss, maximum profit and minimum loss. Now, let us come to the next. What are the different methods of solving a linear programming problem? So, what are the different methods of solving LPP, linear programming problem? So, there are different methods. There are 4 different methods to solve the linear programming problem. The 4 different methods are, first one is the graphical method, second one is the simplex method, third one is the B.C.A method, and fourth one is the two-phase method. This is very important question. Different methods of solving a linear programming problem are, there are 4 important methods. The 4 important methods are graphical method of solving a linear programming problem. Another one is the simplex method, third one is the B.C.A method, and fourth one is the two-phase method. Okay. Now, let us come to the next important questions. What are the advantages of duality? If you write any 2 advantages, that is enough. Here I have listed 5 advantages. You can take any 2 or 3 advantages for 2 marks. Since this is a question of 2 marks, suppose if it is for 5 marks, you can answer this much. If it is 2 marks, you can take any 2 or 3. Now, what are the advantages of duality? It yields a number of powerful theorems. So, this will yield the number of powerful theorems. So, computational procedure can be considerably reduced by converting into dual. If the primal problem contains a large number of rows, constraints, and a small number of columns. This is very important point. Computational procedure can be considerably reduced by converting it into the dual problem if that is nothing but the dual is the primal, if the primal problem contains large number of rows, that is constraints, and small number of columns, that is the variables. Next, solution of the dual checks the accuracy of the primal solution for computational errors. So, this duality, the solution of the dual will check the accuracy of the primal solution for the computational error. And the fourth one is, this gives additional information as how to optimum solution changes as a result of the changes in the coefficient and the formation of the problem. So, that is, this gives additional information how the optimum solution changes as a result of the changes in the coefficient and the formation of the problem. The last point is, this economic interpretation of the dual helps the management in making further decisions. So for making further decision, economic interpretation of the dual problem will helps the management. Okay, these are few advantages of duality. If you write any 2 or 3, that is sufficient for 2 marks. If it is a 5 marks question, you can answer this much. Now, let us come to the next question. Define the transportation problem. So, what is a transportation problem? It is nothing but a special kind of linear programming problem. So, it is a special kind of linear programming problem in which goods are transferred from a set of source to the set of destination. So, it is a special kind of linear programming problem where the goods can be transferred from a set of source to the set of destination, subjected to that the supply and the demand of the source and the destination respectively, subjected to the supply and the demand of the destination respectively, right, such that the total cost of the transportation is minimized. The total cost of the transportation should be minimized in such a way that we are going to transport the goods to the required destination. That is called the transportation. So that is how we are going to define a transportation problem. Now let us come to the next question. What is the question 8? Question number 8 is, mention the different methods used in finding the initial basic feasible solution of a transportation problem. So you might have been studied. This is very important. You might have been solved the problems in this method. What are the different methods of finding the initial basic feasible solution of a transportation problem? You might have been studied northwest corner method, least cost method, and Vogel's approximation method. That's it. So an initial basic feasible solution of a transportation problem can be determined by the following 3 methods. The important 3 methods to find the basic feasible solution of a LPPR, that is northwest corner method, another one is the least cost method, and the third one is Vogel's approximation method. Northwest corner method NWC, least cost method LCM, and the Vogel's approximation VAM. These are the 3 different methods used to find the feasible solution of a transportation problem. Okay, hope you followed. Now let us come to question number 9. What is an assignment problem? So the assignment problem. So what is the assignment problem? This is nothing but a special type of transportation problem. The assignment problem is a special case of transportation problem where the object is to assign each source exclusively to each destination. We are going to assign. The assignment problem is a special case of transportation problem where the objective is to assign to each source exclusively to each destination. And in other words, the assignment problem involves matching of every origin with one particular endpoint. Just matching from one origin to the particular endpoint so as to minimize the cost or to maximize the profit. To minimize the cost or to maximize the profit, we are going to match from one end to the another end. That is called the transport assignment problem. So an assignment problem is a special case of transportation problem where the objective is to assign each source exclusively to each destination. In other words, the assignment problem involves matching of every origin with one particular endpoint so as to minimize cost or to maximize the profit. This is also an important definition. Next, what is the next question? What is game theory? So, game theory is nothing but the study of mathematical models. The game theory is the study of mathematical models of strategist interaction among the rational decision makers. So, game theory is the study of mathematical models of strategic interaction among the rational decision makers. It has the application in all the fields of social science as well as in logic systems of science and also in computer science. So, actually what is game theory is nothing but the study of mathematical models of the strategic interaction among the rational decisions. These used applicable in almost all the fields of science and engineering, social science as well as in logic systems of science and also in computer science. Now let us come to the next question. What is the next question is, again this is from game theory, define minimax and maximin. The name here itself indicates minimax and maximum and maximin. So minimum in maximum value and maximum in minimum value, that is. So minimax, as the name suggests, it is a method in decision theory for minimizing the maximum loss. So for minimizing the maximum loss. Alternatively, it can be thought as maximizing the minimum gain, which is known as maximin. Maximizing the minimum gain, which is also known as maximin. So minimax is nothing but minimizing the maximum loss. Minimizing the maximum loss can be minimized. Whereas on the other hand, maximin means maximizing the minimum gain. Maximizing the minimum gain, which is known as maximin. Maximizing the minimum gain. So that is called maximum and the minimum. This is also an important definition. And let us come to the last question in part A, that is 2-mark question. The last 2-mark question is define the critical path, CPM, critical path, critical path method. So this is nothing but a step-by-step project management technique. CPM is nothing but, the critical path is nothing but, the critical path is a step-by-step, it is a step-by-step project management technique for processing, planning that defines critical and non-critical tasks with the goal of preventing time frame problems and process the bottlenecks, right? See here, the critical path method is nothing but step-by-step method of project management technique for processing, planning that defines the critical and non-critical tasks with the goal of preventing the time frame problem and process the bottlenecks. This is how we are going to define. The critical path is nothing but step-by-step project management technique for processing and planning that defines the critical and non-critical path. Okay. These are the questions which are asked in the previous year for 2 marks. Okay. So hope you follow. So definitely you will get this type of questions for your examination. Right. So that's all for today's session. Let us meet with the part B, that is 7 and 8 marks questions in the next session. Thank you very much.